What's over there with the old you?
They want me to kill Horse.
You wanted my head.
What else would we do?
Mac, believe me, I know.
There's no sense putting it off.
No. Rose! Rose! We spent 3 years in a courtroom. You and Mac on with the kind of reach he has.
Here. They're both.
I had to ask how we.
Howdy took what was mine. I think they own my people. You laughed in my face, shall we?
And that's safe that you have no claim to. Why don't we? Let's. Shit's expensive, man.
Yeah, put it down.
Mrs. Parish.
Rose.
This man be in business with you. I was acting in mode.
I've only contemplated
We're just wrapping up. Be right there.
one up. And me, is that I know what it's like.
Parish episode 5 begins with the family attempting to leave the area before things get out of control following the major accident in the previous episode, in which Rose really murdered 2 of Anton's soldiers. Horse will be ready to put things right since he is furious that his own brother and sister were somehow connected to the events that transpired. As the program is about to end, a significant fact regarding Gray's son's passing is made public. The tensions in episode 5 finally get up steam, making it one of the stronger episodes of the season overall. The appropriate type of triggers are there in this stressful episode, which gives the impression that most people's lives are in jeopardy. The arc of Anton, who seems to be a flimsy side villain created for kicks, is the one aspect that I feel is not quite appropriate. Holding his family close, Gray tries to allow the sinking sense of what had transpired settle in at the beginning of the episode. At this point, Rose really loses it and is prepared to tell the police that she killed 2 men in self-defense. But because she doesn't know Anton as well as he does, Gray is certain that they don't. After that, the family gathers their belongings to flee. Parish phones Colin in the meantime, and when he returns, the 2 of them bundle the bodies in body bags, which they then load onto Colin's truck. Presumably, he will return the bodies to the location where the last ones were placed in an earlier episode. This time feels like the last farewell as the 2 buddies say their goodbyes. Parish urges Colin to make a fresh start in Cuba. However, one of Horse's men arrives and throws a bundle at Gray before the family can go. After that, Gray erects a temporary system to remove any traces of him from his home and visits it, gathering memories of his time there. After that, the family departs. However, Horse Tongai, who has just arrived at Anton's gathering and is shown to be more than simply a criminal who runs casinos, he is also a member of the government, tries to scare him. But when he attempted to seize control of his flawlessly constructed system, Anton makes him aware of the boundaries he had broken. Then he forces Horse to answer his father's call, in which his father expressly requests that he refrain from taking any action against Anton and assigns Zenzo command of their activities. We discover via Shamasho's conversation with Zenzo that Gray was the one who gave Horse's life to Anton upon receiving orders from their father, following the events of the previous episode which pointed to Gray being the one who set up the ambush. Because Shamasho has always been devoted to her father, we also find out that she was involved in the whole event. At the function, Anton presents Laura, a recent council election and immigrant from Nigeria. At her address, she promises safe travels and a place at the nation's center to those who come seeking the American dream with the right paperwork. Horse wants to do the exact opposite, so he is shocked to learn that Anton might be open to doing something similar.
Pacha, cool. Huh? Kuku chengeteza.
Careful. Metairie DeVoe is probably looking
To Amjad, and we start.
together.
How can we trust
And Ron.
I didn't grow up the way at 16. I always wanted to be good vans, driving them to.
Additionally, we see a glimpse of a large group of immigrants being welcomed by Shamasho and Zenzo as they arrive at Kumba, the home of the Zimbabwean criminals. Subsequently, we witness them dining with the populace, assuring them of their commitment to their employment prospects. Later, Shamisho and Zenzo phone each person individually, and under the pretense of offering them jobs, they hold their passports while feigning to protect them. Shamisho seeks to appease the immigrant who is able to blame them for their actions and put them in debt, preventing them from leaving. Afterwards, the Tongai take the woman to Kumba's dwelling, which is not the paradise they had been promised. When Gray and his family get at the Lafayette Hotel and he is caught on camera by the CCTV, his improvised arrangement back home is about to cause the house to catch fire. Gray says he's tied up all the loose ends, and this will help them get back on track since they will receive the insurance money from the fire. Mac and Rosie beg Gray to tell them everything about his background since they still don't feel like they can trust him. Gray talks about his beginnings as a vehicle thief, how he assembled his gang, and how he started taking on dubious missions for clients. Up until he met Rose in Chicago and made the decision to start a family, he claimed to have liked it. Consequently, I had believed that the pistol Rose discovered in her home belonged to Gray. However, now that they are all telling the truth, Rose admits that she used the rifle to murder one of Anton's men and that she had previously discovered it in Maddie's, Gray's deceased son, bed. Mac lashes out at her parents for not knowing what Maddie was up to when he passed away at this point. She claims that her parents were not there to support her and that they were unaware of him as well. She exits the hotel room, disappointed, and Rose goes with her. The lady we saw was invited to go up to a more opulent room since she was unhappy with the Tongai's arrangement, but she was simply there to service the high-end customer who would be sleeping with them. This indicates that the company is not as simple and morally pure as Horse Tongai made it appear. Subsequently, Horse runs into Zenzo and Shamisho and expresses his displeasure with the way things have worked out and how their father has put a wall between them. When Gray examines the package that the man from Tongai gave him, he finds a recording recorder inside. Gray hears a scared-sounding man's voice when he plays it. It so happens to be claiming that he shot the person after witnessing them break into his truck. According to the confession, Gray's son was slain by the guy. On Parish Episode 5's Epilogue, a furious Gray drives down to see Horse Tongai and demands to know who the individual on the tape was. Horse needs one final favor from him before he tells him who killed Maddie. Although the tape seems to sound a lot like Colin's voice, I'm not positive at this stage. If we were to speculate on what Horse would like to see happen right now, it would be for Gray to take Zenzo, Shamisho, or Anton out of the picture and allow him to once again calmly handle his business. As the event nears its conclusion, things are beginning to take shape.